What's up, guys? Welcome to Pro Play Games here in our lovely storefront, and wanted to bring a Gogeta ramp deck finally to you guys. I don't think this has been on the channel. I know we've covered it in a one of our local matches that you can see on YouTube. Actually, we go live on Twitch every Thursday and Saturday. So if you guys want to look at live matches from the PPG Locals testing grounds, you could always tune in on our Twitch channel. Thank you guys again for watching. This is going to be the Gogeta ramp deck. I'm going to go over a few little things. I'm not going to go too in-depth. If you want to really in-depth and sideboard breakdown and things, how to beat like Super Shenron and things like that, definitely subscribe to the PPG Patreon. That's where I'm going to have a very detailed, much longer video than this one. Yeah, I know, it's hard to do. To really break down this video if you guys are really wanting to play something like this for the next competitive event. Speaking of competitive events, don't forget Pro Play Tour in Dallas. It's going to be April 20th and 21st. Easter weekend, we're going to have some really cool things going on. We're going to have the best from East and West battling it out for 3,200 cash prizes. So without further ado, here it is. So we decided to play Gogeta. This is the Broly Pack Volume 1. So this is the Bring a Friend promotion that local game shops did, where it brought the Broly and the Gogeta. It's funny because that Broly was actually super tier and this Gogeta was trash when it came out, but now we have a lot of more useful tools to make him a lot more powerful. So what he reads is activate main once per turn. You can actually look at the top 5 and search a BR, Goku, or Vegeta card, or a blue Veku. Yeah, blue Veku, guys. So you can't get that that red Veku from tournament pack, unfortunately. The only downside really to this card. It doesn't have to attack, so it essentially just nets you a card just for the ability, which is really, really cool. And then the Awaken is untapped too, which is amazing for control leaders. I compare this a little bit to Janemba or Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So it's got an auto on the backside, draws a card on attack, so you do need to attack on the backside. Activate main for 2, it can choose one of your opponent's battle cards and put it to the bottom of the deck, which makes this deck almost an absolute counter to the Broly deck. And then it has an activate main that once per turn you can choose one of your energy, place it in the drop, and draw 2 cards. So a card that will always have its engine running. Even if you stall, you will be able to get back into the game and search those bombs. So it actually lets you play less copies of bombs than you would normally have to play in a deck because you really want to see them. So for the main board, we went with 4 super combos, actually 8 super combos. It's a control deck, just much like Janemba, so you want to play a decent amount of super combos. You can play the cell as well. I was playing 4 of these and 2 cells in the version before this, but currently I'm playing just a 4-4 split. But it was 10 before. But you can play it, like I said. You do normally have extra energy. The cool thing is when you play the Veku, you're gonna have energy standing up after it dies. So it's always a good way to use it. Then we play 4 beans. 4 beans is pretty self-explanatory. You want to be able to live. Oh, really cool thing about this deck, by the way. Usually your turn 3, if you can awaken on turn 3, you can play double Veku by having 1 bean, because you can like play the Veku, awaken, untap 2, attack with your leader, bean it, go back to 3, and then Veku again. So really cool. Well, focus. There you go. Then 4 Dimension Magic. Dimension Magic, one of the premium negates in the game. Untaps 2 blue also. Okay, we played 3 Crisis Crushers. Crisis Crusher is very powerful at dealing with a lot of things in the format. It does allow you to stop any type of like Borgos and things like that. It also stops the Storm deck from attacking with Bardox. It's just something that I wanted to keep as a main board answer to that Shenron Storm, to slow them down just a little bit. The only downside is you can't attack with your 1-drops if you have this guy out, which is not that big of a deal, but Next we played the Goku, I guess you can call it the Goku Vegeta BR package. So we played 4 Son Goku prepping for fusion, which is a 1-drop, and then we played 1 copy of the Preemptive Strike Super Saiyan Son Goku. Now, the ratios that we decided to go with was 5 Son Goku BRs, the 1-drop being the best one. The 2 and 3 drop equally as useless, I want to say. You're not really going to play any of them, to be honest. So it doesn't really matter, it's just there for the name. Next is the Vegeta BR package, which we actually went with 3 of the 1-drop. So the 1-drop searches top 3 for a Goku BR. So you always want to have an even count between your Vegeta BRs and your Goku BRs. We're only playing 3 of the 1-drop here because we actually wanted to make space for 2 copies of the 3-drop, which is the Harmonic Energy Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, which is actually very relevant because it stops the most powerful card in this entire deck, which is why this deck is actually usable at all, which is because of the big boy, Veku. Veku is out of Broly Pack Volume 3, so you can only get him if you went to the Celebrations events in March. This guy is a complete house for 3 energy. If you have a red Goku BR and red Vegeta BR, you can actually pay 3 to summon him and Union Fusion, which means you discard them from your hand and play him out on the board. So instead of him being 5, he's actually 3. Fun fact, your opponent can't preemptive strike him because he is a 5-drop. Now he has barrier and blocker, so he'll stop an attack for sure. There's not many ways to interact with this guy, and then as soon as he dies, brings out 2 energy from the top of your deck in active mode. So super powerful. Not only that, he gets you back the materials that were made to make him. So it gets you a Son Goku and a Vegeta BR from your drop into your hand. So super powerful card. This is always your go-to turn 3 play. You don't really do anything else like turn 1 and 2. You just really always want to successfully want to get to him, and your leader also searches for him too. So if you really want to get him, you usually don't ever miss that on 3, unless you're very unlucky. Next card, this is my own personal tech, Super Saiyan 3 Son Goku pushing forward. This guy is super powerful at the 3-drop slot. The most important reason why we play him is because of the stats and the characteristics. He is a Son Goku. He is 20k, so he's good for the Union Fusion, which we do end up using. His auto is Burst 5. At the end of your turn, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and place it to the bottom of the owner's deck, then return this card to the owner's hand. So pretty cool. It really helps you get the sparking going because this is a control deck, so sometimes if your opponent is stalling you, it's pretty hard to get cards in the drop. He has a 3-drop, so he's not impossible to cast, and he has Burst 5, like I said, helps you fill up. And 20k, it being blue and being a Son Goku, is all very relevant because we play this big boy right here, Gogeta, Hero Revived. Gogeta, of course, many people are familiar with him. He is a Union 5 Patara. Is it Patara? No, sorry, Union Fusion. So that means you just have to discard the cards from your hand. So much like Veku, if you have those two, if you have a Goku and a Vegeta with the same power, which is why we play the 20k Son Goku, you can actually play him for 5 instead of 7, which is his normal cost. And he allows you to put back your opponent's whole hand, and they have to draw 3 random cards from their deck. So super powerful at the cost of 1 of your own life. It's still one of the most powerful blue cards that you can play in the game. And the beautiful part about this deck is that you don't have to Union Fusion him. You can just summon him for 7 energy, which this deck can regularly get to, especially with all the defense it has. Speaking of defense, we do play a very defensive card in this deck, which has actually been something that I haven't seen many people play at all, which is the awe-inspiring Intimidator, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. This guy's out of Ultimate Box. Pretty hard card to get, but very, very powerful. This is a card that not only will draw you a card, but will protect your life. This deck usually gets rushed down to 1 very fast or 2. So having this guy on right after Veku and having an extra 2 energy to back this Vegito up on turn 4 is actually super, super powerful and super relevant, and also allows you to start really getting rid of your extra energy for your leader ability, because you'll have an inherent defensive tactic with him on the board already. So very powerful card. Great turn 4 play. And then of course we play the at all cost Gogeta. Still one of my favorite and most powerful blue cards in the game. This guy, for the cost of 2 life, well, not only do you play him, untap an energy and draw a card, but for the cost of 2 life, you can KO a battle card on your opponent's field, and he'll gain attack equal to your energy times 3k. So in decks like this, where you can have 7 energy, 8 energy, you can get really, really beefy. And he helps you self-awaken. So if decks are trying to stall you, at all cost Vegeta will come in for the win. He's also the only way that you can union fusion with your 20k Goku that we also play. So very powerful card, whether it be early game or late game. To continue with the bombs, we got Ultimate Fusion Gogeta. Ultimate Fusion Gogeta is a 5-drop. You can also Union Fusion him for 4, but you never Union Fusion this guy. You always want to save your Union Fusion for the Hero Revived. But for Sparking 5, so you need to have 5 in your drop minimum, you can actually play this guy and bounce back 2 of your opponent's cards back to the bottom of their deck. So it's still good against Broly. And you draw 2 cards also, so this card is inherently a +4 if you want to look at it in Yu-Gi-Oh terms. So super powerful card. At the 5-drop spot, there's also a very powerful turn 4 play that you can play with this deck and still have 1 energy up if you like. To round out the bombs, we played 2 Dragon Fist Super Saiyan Sun Gokus. Now Super Saiyan Sun Goku is very, very good. Unfortunately, we don't have a very good Vegeta 25k, but it wouldn't hurt to splash in like 2 copies of a Vegeta 25k to Union Fusion with him too, which has the potential if the right cards get printed in the next set or so. But he has Barrier, he has 6-drop, so you can actually play him right after a Veku, which is super insane. The point of all these bombs is that you can play him right after the Veku turn. So after the Veku turn, you go to 6, and this guy will tap you out, but then he won't, because his ability on attack will untap 2 energy and bounce back one of your opponent's battle cards. So not only will it bounce back something, they'll also untap 2. So very, very powerful card. Ignoring Barrier 2 is a very powerful keyword on this guy. It lets you deal with a lot of things. So that's pretty much it with, for the deck, guys. This is like I said, this is a control deck. This is a deck that wants to play some bombs, but at the same time survive against really fast decks against Shenron, which we also have a lot more answers in the sideboard if we play against that. But the main reason why this deck is so powerful is because that it deals inherently with the Gogeta effect with Broly very, very easily, and it's a very, very defensive deck that is not like Janemba that gets shut down by a single TN. TN does hurt this deck, but it's not something that's impossible to play around, especially with cards like Vegito and things like that we play. But all in all, I've really enjoyed this deck. I've been playing it for the past few locals and have a pretty solid track record for it. So there's a lot of ways that you can do it. This is a base blue version. There's base red versions that you can play as well. But I've always had a soft spot for blue, so really do love this deck. Like I said, guys, if you guys want to see the sideboard, if you guys want to see more explanations on the cards and why they're good in certain matchups, please subscribe to the PBG Patreon. We have a lot of pros that consistently put on content on there. I think our Patreon has the most content posts out of any Patreon that's currently out there. So definitely check it out if you haven't already. Like I said, see you guys at Pro Play Tour Dallas.